Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on what is believed to be the greatest four-wheel drive vehicle in the world. And you have to ask yourself, well, how does somebody get a claim like that? Like, I see the military using them, it doesn't sound like that's very user-friendly. Well, the good thing about it is not only was it user-friendly, but this thing rides well, it handles well, it is super nimble, ridiculous four-wheel drive prowess, and I'll show you some of the details on here when we go through it, and you'll see why these things cost at the end of their time $125,000 starting price. $125,000 for an off-road vehicle. And when you see some of the detail in here, you'll say, oh, now I get it, okay? So they're not high horsepower vehicles, they are torque-driven vehicles, and then I'll show you why they make great acceleration. You can beat most sports cars from a light, okay? All right, so let's take a walk around for a second. The black paint on it says it all to me. When you're talking about a Hummer, it looks so stealthy and so elegant in black. It's like wearing a tuxedo, man. You just look great when you arrive. It's got the central tire inflation system wheels on it, meaning that with these wheels here, this factory style wheels, all right, what you can do is you can lower and raise the tire pressure while you're driving the vehicle, which is a pretty cool thing. So when you go out on the beach, what you want to do is let most of the air out. Let the air out, the tires down to 10 pounds. Well, most four-wheel drive people do that. They let it out with 10 pounds, but then they don't have anything to pump the tires back up. So they got to drive on low tires or don't drive at all or try to get out and get a compressor or something like that. That's this. You flip a switch on the dash, you can raise the front, the rear, all four at the same time, lower them independently. It's pretty cool to watch them do that. But by lowering the tire pressure in the sand, it makes the tire wider. So it's like having snowshoes. When you walk in the snow, you see people that can actually walk around and do those things. This here spreads the tire out even more and gives it better grip and better power. The one thing on top of it that says to me, this is how a four-wheel drive gets done, is you need to look under the front here, and let's check that out. Okay, so when you're four-wheel drive, no matter how high you raise a car, a truck, four-wheel drive, the differential's only going to be as high as it is with the size of the tire it is. This is very different. If you look, you notice it's completely clear down here. This has the optional protection underneath. It's called a drive line protection. But look at it, even the rear differential is protected, but you see no drive shafts and nothing in there. The reason why is this has something called portal axles. So if you come over here for a second, instead of the axle going in the middle of the wheel right here, the axle goes up top here. So it raises the entire drivetrain up another 6 inches. Then inside there, each hub is gear driven to double the torque and the horsepower at each wheel. That's why it doesn't need 1,000 horsepower to go quickly or get up and down any type of terrain. What it does is it takes the 500 foot-pounds or 600 foot-pounds of torque, depending on what year it is, and then doubles it at the wheel. So you can imagine the acceleration. The truth is, I've towed things with these vehicles before, and it's kind of weird, man. It has one speed. It doesn't matter whether it's towing something or not towing something, it goes the same speed, it has the same power, the same acceleration, which is pretty cool, all right? And then we got the brush guard right here. Tow hooks. These tow hooks are typically not for you, all right? They're for you to help somebody else out of wherever it is. You can just see, look at the size of the control arms here. They are not only huge pieces, right? Most control arms are stamped. These right here are actually cast into several pieces and welded together to form this enormous arm to keep everything in place. So you are talking about four-wheel disc brakes, and the disc brakes for the rear of the vehicle are in the inside, so they can't get hung up on anything. They don't rust, and this way you can go in as deep as water as you want. It keeps them dry because they're up in the belly there. And again, you can see all the protection that it has here. You know, these are designed for the military and to withstand a lot of torture, and to throw it into civilian use, they really just made it more luxurious. They didn't have to change any of the driving dynamics of it, all right? Okay, let's take a peek under the hood and see what you get for powertrain. So when you buy this Hummer, watch these steps, okay? Because this is you'll know how to do it and no one else will. People try to open the hood, they have no idea how to do it. These right here, okay? I normally pick it up and move it when I park it because all right, just kidding. Anyway, but for lifting the vehicle up, okay, so this goes out of the way. Boom, you got these straps right here, okay? They come off to the side, and then up it goes, okay? All right, so listen, a lot of these you are looking at are not turbo diesels, they're just diesels. I've owned the diesel ones before, and they're fine, but 55 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour is it. You are not going any faster. It maybe could go to 70 downhill. But you throw in the air conditioning on, people inside, luggage, all that other stuff, and they are hampered a little bit. This is a 6.5 liter turbo diesel. Huge difference of power. And with the overdrive automatic has really great acceleration, okay? Air conditioning's up here, easily to be serviced, all right? This has an onboard compressor. The onboard compressor is really cool because right over here is an outlet, and if you have a raft or toys or something like that at the beach, it comes with an air hose, and you just plug it in the side here. You can pump up a bed, you can pump up beach balls, whatever it is you want, which is really kind of cool, the fact that you have all that available. And everything is really serviceable too. Don't forget, this is a GM turbo diesel. They typically get somewhere around 400,000 miles out of these diesel engines. This vehicle here with 35,000 miles on it, it's been driven around 2,000 miles a year. So I would imagine it's probably got a little bit of life left in it, right? The overdrive automatic, again, these are all heavy duty truck parts designed for maximum mileage and things like that. The radiator is as big as the whole front end of the vehicle. Look at this right here. This is pretty cool. Trans cooler, AC condenser, radiator. All massive, all laid down so that the air flows in here and gets it, and it keeps the angle of the hood in line. And you can also get a little bit of fuel economy on the highway too, because it's not just a big square in the air. And while we're here, I just want to show you some of the other stuff like this. Like, look at the amount of rivets for the pieces that are here. This does show the hinges to have the fold down ability of the windshield. I've never put one down, not sure how it works, but it looks like it has that ability there. But anyway, what I really wanted to show you was some of the massive pieces in here, but I want to show you one last thing about the suspension, because you can have a four-wheel drive vehicle, but if the vehicle can't take what you're going to dish it, then it's just going to break. And that's exactly what they've done here, is they designed it so it doesn't break. For instance, most air cleaners are about this big. They're round, they're like this. This right here is the air filter system. If you want to, you can add here, because this is where it draws its fresh air. It puts the fresh air up here instead of over there where it could get water in it. You can actually add a snorkel system to give you an extra 2 feet of fording depth. These are all water sealed compartments in here, so up to here, you can go in water. The doors are sealed, the outside of it's sealed, and you can kind of go wherever you want. So when you see those things on TV where, I'm not recommending you do this of course, but if you see them on TV where it has like this much water and the guy's minivan is stuck in it, like you just laugh. I normally cackle in that maniacal type of laugh as I wheel around them, splashing everybody. But what I wanted to show you was this in here. Check this out. This is a coil spring. Look at the size of that coil spring for a minute. That's probably a 200-pound coil spring. Maybe it doesn't weigh that much, and maybe I'm being a little excited about it, but nothing else that we've ever serviced or seen has a coil spring that big. All right? Twin batteries, okay? This is what I'm talking about. The detail, the redundancy to make sure that this vehicle keeps going is all wrapped up in the military. The military spent billions of dollars developing these things. They spent billions of dollars buying these things, and then they said they were going to sell a few. When's the last time you saw a Hummer driving down the road, right? They're one of the most photographed vehicles out there, but you never see them because they're $125,000, and not everybody can afford a $125,000 four-wheel drive vehicle. The way this one's priced is the way you need to buy one. This is exactly how to do it. You buy it for half price with low mileage, it's been serviced, and it's got great colors. A couple things I wanted to show you real quick too is, listen to this. That's with the window down. With the window down, it sounds even better, but this is a solid door. Hinges exposed on the outside. That way they can have a full seal inside so that you can ford some water. This is another great feature. There's 2 gas tanks. They're both separate, right? So you have a front tank and a rear tank, and it has a switch on the dash, and you do have to switch. If it runs out of gas, you just hit the other thing. It's got electric fuel pump, boom, and it gets you rolling right again, or you can watch the gas gauge and just flip over. But its cruising range is enormous because of how much gas and diesel that it can carry. All right, so back here again, we're talking about massive, but the good news is there's an enormous amount of glass in here. I wanted to share that with you so you could see the visibility in here. You can see out of everywhere inside here. There's not really any blind spots because, again, it's all kind of circled in glass. This full steel roof here has big ribs across it. It supports the vehicle if it was to roll over, all right? Then back here, well, before I go any farther, this right here is a built-in trailer hitch and bumper. Look at the massive size of this thing. This thing is, looks to be 1/2-inch steel, okay? Already comes from the factory with a plug. And again, these hooks right here are for other people usually, not you. All right, check out under here for a second. See how smooth it is underneath? Nothing's hanging down to get caught up on rocks. Look at the size of the frame rails. They're twice the size of any other vehicle out there. Again, the portal axles up high in the wheel. And that's how you're able to get all that ground clearance. And with the double wishbone suspension, so this has an independent rear suspension as well, which most big 4x4 Fords or Chevys and things like that trucks, they don't have that. They have the solid axle that hangs down. By having an independent axle, you can move it up inside here because then the pumpkin stays in place. The disc brakes are right here, and then the control arms can move freely as possible. You move the axles up even higher, and you have even more ground clearance. That's why their prowess is incredible. All right? Okay. This one here has a pretty phenomenal sound system in it, and we can take that out if you don't really want to keep this in here, but this has a JL Audio subwoofer in here. But this has great storage. You would be surprised at how much stuff you can put back here. All right, this shelf, the center divider right here, slides out if you want. The seats fold forward, and then this whole thing becomes like a giant pickup bed. You can help people move. You can go camping in it, which is really nice. Plus the fact that you can kind of go anywhere. You can go to places that most vehicles would never have thought of even going to, okay? So again, just really nice. Everything's finished inside. These windows slide open in here, and for camping and stuff, they have screens. See this right here? They've got screens, and that way you can have some fresh air and not worry about it and not be bothered by the bugs. And that's how I like to camp. See, I normally camp at the Ritz-Carlton. That's just how I am. I don't like to, I am a little pretentious, I agree. So part of the sound system, Alpine subwoofer. Okay, then you also have controls back here, heating and air conditioning, separate vents for the people back here. You can tie down stuff, all right? And let me jump in the front because the controls there are pretty amazing. So you ask, well, what this hump is here. This is where the drivetrain is. The drivetrain is picked up inside the vehicle, right? And that's why it's so flat underneath. That's why you can go wherever you want. Oh, sorry, little Foo Fighters. I don't know if I should turn that down. Okay, so we got navigation, we got satellite, we got obviously FM. The great thing about it is it's touchscreen, and boom, you're ready to go. Here's a gas gauge. Here is this tire selection for the central tire inflation system, the 2 gas tanks, heating and air conditioning controls, power window switches. Now listen, the cool thing about this is all this stuff here is GM stuff, right? Easy to get if you need to. If 20 years from now it breaks, all this stuff is nice. This has a billet upgrade package, so it has the Momo steering wheel, the billet handles here. Again, full gauges with a tachometer, speedometer, and all those good things. Cargo lighting. All right, you even have a glove box right here with the owner's manual, okay? Cup holders, CD changer. I ramble on and on, but this is one cool ass truck, man. I'm telling you, now you see why they were so expensive. There was a lot of effort that was put into them, and to make them very nice. As we close up the video on this H1, keep in mind the H1 is a very different animal than the H2 or the H3. The H2 is a Chevrolet pickup truck underneath. The H3, the Colorado pickup truck underneath. 5-cylinder inline. None of those trucks have anything to do with this other than some of the engine drivetrain, and even here it's upgraded as well. So we talked about waterproofing, we talked about 4-wheel drive prowess, we talked about even going camping in it because it's got the screens in the back. It's got a killer sound system, ridiculously low miles, and not to mention it's black. Black, 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 and it just looks bad A. Anyway, call us if you can find a way to get this H1 in your life. They're going away quickly. The low mileage ones are going to be all snatched up now that they don't make them anymore, and these have gone up in value every week. I'm watching them every week go up in value. Get one while you still can. Call us 301-816-1000 and we'll tell you all about it.